So it looks like you are a risk taker, and also you like to make sure that you let everybody hear the voices of the people themselves.
Yeah. And I think I was very lucky.
Yeah.
If I went into the network business in its golden age, then nobody would listen to a foreign student who just got in. Who is Joanna? Who does she think she is? How dare would she come and tell us what to do? And that would be the response. But when I went into the network business, network was in turmoil. Network was being challenged. Network needs to know what the future was, or at that time they needed to know. So they were less protective, less defensive, and they were more open and minded. And a researcher like me got the unthinkable opportunity to ascend in a network business.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was rare and a special, opportunity too, because you're definitely not Caucasian.
Not Caucasian.
And you're Asian and a female there, and you climbed up to this position at a very young age, at 36.
37. Every time they say 36, I say, oh, sorry, it was not exactly correct.
Okay.
But I was obviously non-Caucasian. The first time I went into the corporate board meeting, of course, bringing my huge books of data, and I was there just as a supporting staff. I came back and told my boss, I do not see any future for me in this company. I don't see anyone like me. I saw all gray-haired Caucasian men sitting there making decisions. I don't see any opportunity for me in this company. And my boss said, historically, we've made a lot of mistakes. And because of those historical mistakes, you have an unprecedented opportunity in this company. You can break through this glass ceiling and you can ascend. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a really good advice.
Yeah. And isn't there, that's a very obvious difference in terms of the culture. Mm-hmm. You can see here, the Western culture, the way they see you as a female, but there's no threat to them,
No threat.
But here in Taiwan, I think there's just all this hierarchy, this bureaucracy here. So how do you adjust? How do you, adapt?
I'll go back to your older question.
Yeah.
My father raised me as a son.
Mm. Is that why?
He raised me as the number one child. Not number one son, number one daughter, but number one child. Uh-huh. So I was the eldest of the family, and my father gave me a lot of freedom to explore. Even when I was growing up, most girls were very protected by their families. My father allowed me to travel by myself when I graduated from junior high school and high school.
Okay.
I think that showed a lot of respect and a lot of gut from a father's point of view.
You were never scared?
I was never scared. I was always impatient to explore the world. I couldn't wait to get out. Mm-hmm. So he sort of acquiesced to me. He tried to impose a lot of restrictions on me earlier on, but later on he said, "Okay, I'm going to trust my daughter." But this trust is earned as well. Okay. Every time when I made a mistake, I came back to my house. My father always asked me one question. He would say, "Joanna, did you make any mistake? Is this your fault?" And he made me think whether I should take responsibility of whatever happened to me.
Okay. Yeah. But he didn't rebuke you. I mean, he didn't ask a question to make you feel bad or look bad.
I I think he had this tremendous trust and belief in his child.
Mm-hmm.
So he believed that he's raised his children right.
Mm.
And the children should have the ability to figure out things by themselves. So he gave me a little bit leeway to make mistakes, but don't be mistaken. My house rules were really strict.
Yeah.
Up until I was in the last year in high school, during school nights, I had to be home by 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, that's very, very early.
That's very early. It's only the last year in high school when we had to go to the, under the disguise that we had to go to the library to study, I could stay out until 12.
Oh.
But that was because I was supposed to be studying in the library.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you actually went to 2 prestigious schools in Taiwan. It's like the dream of every girl or something, every child, and parents, is that you went to the most prestigious, Taipei First Girls High School and also the National Taiwan University.
Right.
Now, that's a dream of everybody. What do you think your experience was, and do you recommend that to the parents these days? Because they care more than the child, themselves, about going to these really pressurized schools. Wouldn't you say? There's just so much pressure going to these schools.
But